Hey, you guys. You know what? This is completely impromptu. I did not plan this at all, but I am actually in the middle of a lyrics transcription job, and I'll explain in just a second. But while I was doing it, I thought it would be really cool actually to come on and talk about this. I think that I might have um, probably searched lyric transcribing maybe on Google or on YouTube, but I didn't really find much about it. And I'm just going to follow my gut here and just come on and let you guys know that I've been doing lyric transcriptions for an artist, BJ the Chicago Kid, for about maybe 4 or 5 years. I think I started with In My Mind. I want to talk about this for a second. So I did not write any notes, which I was going to, but I was like, I don't have time because I have to get this song back. I have to get one of the songs back tonight. That there is a job entitled transcriber. People who transcribe, they usually transcribe a lot of audio. And this is where we get transcripts from. So whether it's songs, whether it's audio books, whether it is motivational speakers when they're done with a tour, shows like shows, talk shows, even some sitcoms I've seen in the past. You can always request transcripts for like everything. If you have always been a music listener that has indulged in the lyrics of songs like I did when I was a little girl, this might be a job that may be of interest to you. And it's probably maybe a job that you never even thought of. Oftentimes, when I've told people that I transcribe lyrics or like for albums or for individual songs, they're like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing. So I want to kind of break down the technical aspects of this because it is really important that when you do this kind of transcription, that you're really, really good at it. And there are some things that you really need to know in order to do this job. And you also need to be very fast when you do this because the turnaround is, it really all depends on the artist team that you're working with. But I've mainly been working with Mafi Music, with in partnership with Mind Over Music Entertainment, which is actually my twin brother's company. So, and actually with BJ the Chicago Kid, he is a longtime brother and friend to me. Like literally, he and his family, we are family. I've known him since he came out from Chicago, met him and my brother in my friend's kitchen in the hood, and like it seemed like 100 years ago. But sometimes it's just like that. People enter in and out of your circle and your community, and sometimes you're just blessed to be maybe around certain communities and you're with an artist when they're very young and you're with them the whole time that they grow. So this just happens to be one of those situations. So now with the lyrics, you guys know that there's genius lyrics, there's A to Z lyrics. Most streaming services have buttons that you can push where you can also watch the lyrics as you're streaming the music. So, number one, when you are transcribing a song, first you need to know how to format those lyrics. The way that I know that is I'm an 80s baby, okay? Anytime I purchased a cassette, like I'm talking about from young through junior high school to high school, I have always been into opening up that glossy folded paper with all of the lyrics inside of it and reading through all the lyrics of every song of any artist that I have loved. That was the first way that I learned how song lyric formatting was, because I could see how the first verse was put. I could see how the B section, the hook, the bridge, or if there was a instrumental portion, I knew that it was written out instrumental, and normally it was within parentheses. These are also other things that you need to know. So you need to know, like, if it's a whole album, if something is a prelude or something is an interlude. You need to know if it's within a song. Like, sometimes, and especially today, songs aren't always like standard format. It's not always like A, B, C, A, B, C. So you need to know if, when a song is starting, if is that an intro or is that a first verse. Oftentimes you can hear it in a chord change, and you need to know if it is that intro, and then you need to know, like, the first verse. You need to know if it's a pre-chorus, or you need to know if it is a double first verse, double second verse. You need to know if the pre-chorus is a double pre-chorus or B section, and then you need to know when it's actually going into the chorus or hook. You need to know when it goes into the bridge, and you also need to know if this song has a vamp. You will be able to hear it depending on how the song is fading out. So these are very important things that is crucial to typing out the song, because this is the thing. When people on the other side receive it, they need to be able to look at a very organized document with the lyrics. And I'm going to show you in a second, like, what I've done. I'm almost done. And they need to be able to understand everything that you've written. They don't need to have to, like, make any adjustments or put any extra work into it. Also, another thing that I do, even if excuse me, even if the B section and the choruses are repeated, sometimes you can put, like, if there's a line in a chorus that's the same line and it's 4 times. Sometimes I tend to do long form, and then on the other end, like, whatever anyone else decides to do with the document, like, say if it's 4 lines that say I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, instead of putting I love you with the times 4 in the parentheses, I just write it out, I love you, I love you, I love you 4 times, because then people can decide, like, oftentimes they need the full lyrics, and they can decide if they want to do short form. Like, short form usually uses words with the times, like twice, or repeat in parentheses, or that way you don't have to continue writing the lyrics out. So I hope I'm being very clear. Okay, yes. And another point. So you don't necessarily have to write this in the song transcribing, but you do need to know song format in the A-B form. So there's a lot of standard formats that's A, B, C, which is usually verse, B section, chorus. Also terms. So, like I've mentioned in other videos, like, I went to school for music, but before I went to school for music, working in studios, oftentimes there's really 2 parallel terms. When we say verse, it's the first verse. When the pre-chorus, like in studio lingo, is the B section, and then the chorus in studio lingo is normally the hook. And so those words are interchangeable, but you can say verse 1 or first verse, pre-chorus or B section, hook or chorus. Um, but in the writing format, I always use like the technical professional terms. I always use verse 1, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge. And then knowing if a song, like this is something that I just need to know inside of my own brain. Like if it's A, A2, it's like verse 1, or double verse 1. That's just for me to know. And then if it's an extended pre-section or extended B section, then I know that that's probably going, instead of 4 bars, it's probably going 8 bars. You see what I mean? So there, a verse can be like a 4 bar or 8 bar verse, and then you have your chorus, which can be like a 4 bar chorus or an 8 bar chorus, and then you go into the second verse again. Sometimes the first verse is just one verse, and sometimes the second verse is a double verse. And then also you have your bridge, which oftentimes can be like an 8 bar bridge, but then that bridge might flow into an instrumental or an interlude before the final choruses come in. So these are things that you need to be able to know, like some of the terms that you type into the document, so that everything is super clear and super organized. So let me show you what it is that I'm doing, and then I'm going to explain how I do this. Oh, and let me just, guys, these headphones, so I'm just listening to music. So these are like, I forget the brand, but it's probably on the side somewhere. Like I got these from Target. These were just like a cheap, they're very decent. They're actually not the cheapest of the cheapest, but these are pretty decent. There is an exact way to wear them with the right ear here and the right on the cord, but you can also use the AKGs, the 2 cheapest ones like at the Guitar Center, but just for listening and transcribing, these are pretty good and good enough. So it's cool to have like a few different types of headphones, and right ear, left ear. I can hear in my headphones what is panned right and what is panned left, because sometimes lyrics can get muffled if there is an effect on them, and you have to go back and you have to listen again. And sometimes there might be like an ad lib or like a background part, in which the background part can be put in the parentheses after the lead part. So it's important to have fairly decent headphones so that you can hear everything that's going on. Words and lingo. Guys, listen, you must check your spelling, and check your spelling. You must, I know this sounds crazy, but like, you must know how to spell, okay? But here's the thing. Oftentimes, depending on the genre, in urban R&B and or rap, because with BJ, oftentimes he would have collaboration, or he might feature a rapper on some of his songs. And so, which actually, guys, I love transcribing rap. Like, it's actually exciting. Because then you actually need to know what to write proper and what not to write proper. So for instance, the format, I like to have it very organized. I'm doing this one because I need to send this back. As you can see, most of the time, song titles are in quotation, and I always put lyrics. I always put the name of the artist. So I have the verse 1. Sometimes the verse 1, chorus, I might bold those, but I usually do all of that at the end. And then here's the thing. So with words like sending, oh, it's kind of blurry. Oh, I hope you guys can see this okay. with words like sending, it's not sending ing, but it's sending me to voicemail. So I put the N with the apostrophe. I don't like waiting. What else? Like you pretty much have to transcribe exactly how it is being sung. We put the don't, but oftentimes in essay writing, or well, yeah, essay writing, we put do not, but you don't want to do that. You want to transcribe it exactly how the person is singing it. We put the yeah with the comma. Yeah, you know me. I was chilling, not chilling. Not ing, but you got to put the in with apostrophe. So it needs to be typed in the slang format. And then it's like we be cool. And of course, you can see like the Google is going to underline what appears to be bad grammar, but you just have to put it to where that is ignored, so that it can be written out. And then of course we have a few things that I need to correct. Knowing the lingo of the culture. So I have mentioned this like in another video about words that become popular that are not necessarily in the English language, but this is why, some many years ago, the Urban Dictionary was born. So with the Urban Dictionary, you find words that are not in the traditional or classic dictionaries, words like wifey or zaddy. Like you need to be able to know what people are using, the slang that people are using inside of songs, and put those in, spell those out. What zaddy, wifey, whatever, like cray cray, like people. What else? What is really popular right now? Oh gosh, I can't even think. Not the mommy, sorry mommy, please stop. Like when you're transcribing lyrics or R&B soul, um you're gonna run into very like slang words or trending words that's of the culture at the moment, and you need to be familiar with those words. They cannot be corrected. Sometimes you might have to look them up to see like how they're being spelled and then add them into the song. So like I said, you need to be quick. One of the reasons why my brother has me do this and nobody else on the team wants to do this, because I'm very administrative, like I said, and I'm very fast. So my method is this: when I pull up the song, I put like the song that I'm working on, I put that particular one on a solo repeat. Okay, I play the song. I do not like stop and pause because, oh my gosh, I missed the word, I missed the line. No, what you have to do is just let the song rotate. And what I do is whatever line I catch, I already know that is going to be in the order of the song because I'm typing after each line. So most of the time you're going to get the first line of the first verse and you're going to start typing that. Then you're going to get, your ear is going to catch another line. Go press your enter, go to the next line and just type it in and keep typing it. You know when you hear the pre-chorus come in and you know when you hear the chorus come in. Just keep typing, just keep catching the words and type. Don't stop typing. That is one way that you can get through the song pretty fast. And then also when you if you know exactly what the last line of the song is, for instance, with this song, the very last line is, I think it's so sad to get a kick out of making me mad. So I know that's the last line. So there's other portions that I'm actually going to type above that so that I can keep that as the last line. And then once I have the B section completely correct, I will copy and paste that and just do a double copy and move it down. But sometimes like it goes much faster after the second verse, like when you're typing it anyway and you're typing it out, to just type it out. And then with the chorus, I will get the chorus repeats. So what I did was I typed the first two lines and then I copy that and I go down, move down to the third line, and then I just paste it. So it sets my chorus already. Yeah, so I just keep typing. I keep letting the song rotate, and then I'm filling in as I go. So when I go to the second verse, when I go to the first verse, and I'm listening, the lines that I already have, I don't have to worry about that. But as I keep listening, I just go in and I fill in and I plug in the words until the whole song is complete. That is like, to me, the quickest way to get the lyrics transcribed without stopping and pausing and, oh, I missed the word, and oh no, it's going to take longer if you do it that way. Maybe you guys might want to know what you should charge. So tonight I'm actually just doing 3 songs and I'm getting paid $250. I don't mind saying that, I guess. It's whatever. But I've also transcribed BJ's full albums for like $200, and my turnaround has been like no more than 3 days. But honestly, like for me, if they give me a deadline, then I can meet that deadline easily. But when I get the text message and my brother's like, quick turnaround, he was like, this particular song we need tonight. Luckily, when I got the text message, I was already done with what I was doing for the day. But if I can, I literally drop everything that I'm doing and I get right to it so that I can have the songs to them either the next day, and that's including whole albums, or within 2 days. So yeah, guys, you need to be quick. So, and then, like I said, depending on the team, if it's like a last minute team, which sometimes they can be, but it's all good. Like the industry can be like that in so many ways. Anyway, people scrambling and we need this, we need that. Oftentimes things are only thought of like in the moment, and you need to be able to like drop what you're doing and just do it. Yes, and once I get all of the text in, I will let the song play and I will read along with the lyrics as it's going. If there's any changes that I need to make or something that I missed, I keep doing that. So basically, I am proofing it, and just making sure everything's up to par. This is in a Google Doc so that I can share it easily. And then once the people get it on the other side, I'm not sorry. Yeah, this is a Google Doc, but it's in Drive. So you can set your sharing point so that whoever has access to the lyrics, they'll be able to do whatever it is that they need to do with this. I do not send it in PDF form because sometimes people need to be able to make changes to it or adjustments or whatever. And then, oh yes, let me say this. So this was sent to me, where these 3 songs, I'm doing this off of Amazon Music, but oftentimes the music could like either not be released yet. Like with all of BJ's records, the records were not released yet. What I would be sent is the song files, and then I would just like in Dropbox, and then I would just go through and transcribe the lyrics. But you guys need to be trustworthy when you do that, because this oftentimes is how leaks get out, because when you actually have people's music and the song, the album is not released yet, if if you're not trustworthy, then some people will be very tempted to like just put music out there, and they're not supposed to do that. So also, I still support the artists by streaming and or downloading their music, even if I do have the song files already. Okay, so let's see. Once So once everything is done, then the lyrics are distributed to where they need to go, and people can pretty much like copy and paste. So oftentimes these lyrics will go on Genius Lyrics if they're not already there. They'll go on other lyric sites. They'll be used for printing. They'll be used just whatever, however they are to be distributed. Okay, you guys. So in the proofing, I am finally done with this song, but I am proofing. When you're proofing, you must listen over and over and over and over and over again, because what you thought that you might have first heard in the first couple listens in some particular lines turns out not to be that. And your ears need time to adjust to the context of the whole song and also to the lingos of the whole song. VJ just happens to be an artist that I'm familiar with. I'm familiar with how he sings, and I'm familiar with like how he uses his lyrics, but it's not always the case with everybody, right? So I'm actually fixing one line where originally I thought it said come on and get on my vibe, but he actually says come on, don't kill my vibe. But it's sung pretty fast and you have to keep listening and listening, and he said, oh, okay, that's not what he's saying, this is what he's saying. Then sometimes I will take off one ear and I'll listen, because that too will also bring a different sound quality. And sometimes it's just like me right now, like me talking into this camera with both ears on sounds more muffled than it does when I take off one ear, and it sounds a little bit more clear. If I take off both, that's a whole different sound quality as well. So that's another thing that you need to do when you are proofing. You need to kind of like switch your ears up, and you need to maybe put it back, or you need to put it in front of your ear, because sometimes you hear more of the background, or you hear other things that you didn't normally tune into when you have both ears on. So, and you guys, like, listen, don't laugh at me. Look, I have a funny story. Okay, this is really quick. The reason why I say you need to really listen and tune your ears really, really fast, because you could be typing the wrong thing where the singer is not saying what you think they are saying. Sometimes you can get stuck on a word, and I'm talking about stuck. Like, it could be in a song or it could be in a rap, and it's like you cannot figure out what the person is freaking saying. Like, that does happen. Okay, guys, can I tell you, I just recently realized, so this is so sad. Don't laugh at me, okay? Don't judge me. So I pulled out some Michael Jackson, like, epic greatest hits CD, and I'm listening to Wanna Be Starting Something. And why did I just realize the other day, after listening to this song my whole entire life, that he's saying, you're detestable, and they hate you. It's like, I know that he was saying, like, and they hate you, but listening to this song when I was a little girl and I didn't understand, I always used to be like, you're a vegetable, and they ate you, you're a vegetable. Like, literally, listen, don't laugh at me. Literally, that word to me was vegetable, and hate you was really they ate you. Like, I couldn't believe the other day when I was listening. I was like, oh, he's saying you're detestable. Oh my God. Guys, sometimes you don't know what a song lyric is until 30 years later. Okay, that's my story. But anywho, here's the final. Basically the final. Let me see. Okay, so it's pretty much like this: title, verse 1, pre-chorus. I just copied and pasted the pre-chorus. I'm gonna listen through, like, that's the song, that's it. I'm gonna listen through a couple more times just to double check, since I just made some changes. And once it's all done, I am gonna send it off. Okay, you guys. Okay, I hope you guys can see this okay, right? I hope you guys can see this okay. So this other song that I'm working on, I already sent the other one off. This is a perfect example of a song that is a little bit more complicated, and so I just want to show you a few pointers of what I've done. So this song actually has an intro, which means there's some lyrics sort of sung. It's kind of actually like rap singing or talk singing in the beginning, just like of a thought before the first verse comes in. And then of course you have a pre-chorus, your chorus. And so then this chorus actually has some ad-libs while the second chorus does not. So with the ad-libs, those are put in parentheses, and actually the ad-libs are in lowercase on purpose, because it really is an underlying lyric to the main lyric, which is like the background. And this is where you have to decipher, like, when you put background in parentheses and when you put like the main lyrics in parentheses. So the main thought for the chorus is, "You're so smooth." Sorry, I cannot play it, but I'm not going to play it, but for the sake of copyright or whatever. But these 3 songs are actually streaming already, so you can go and take a listen. But so these lines, which are in unison, are the main lines, and then he comes in with the ad-libs. But the opposite of that here is when you get to oh my gosh, zoom in. When you get to this bridge part after the second chorus, where there is actually no ad-libs, this background actually comes in first. So you have this unison group of BJ's vocals that come in, and it's really sort of like a tell you what, and I put an exclamation point because it is very exclamatory. So he's saying this part, the background is saying this part, and then I have this background in uppercase. It's real. There's a lot of like technical things with lowercase and uppercase, and knowing when to differentiate like what it is that's in a parentheses, whether it's background or whether it's like an ad-lib or afterthought, because this right here, it's also about what actually looks good to the eye when a reader is reading the lyrics. So this line is said 4 times. Again, this is a perfect example of where I can either put this line 1 time and I can put the times, or 4 times in parentheses. But again, this is the long form where everything is written out, and then the bridge continues, and I'm still working on this, where this is the main line. I just want to get to know you better. So this is actually going to go in parentheses, but he's saying this each time. And then this is actually at the end, he's actually speaking something where he says, "Put your lighters up in the air 1 time, y'all, wherever you at." So that, and then actually what I would do with this is I would put that by itself on a line, because that's not sung, that's actually spoken. But that's the final line of the song. So as you can see, this is the format. and I'm actually proofing it and going through, but I just wanted to show another example of a song that is a little bit more complicated, and the other song was like pretty simple, really, really simple. And I hope that this is just a very educational and helpful video to someone who might be interested in doing this kind of things. I love it. So, and oh, maybe I could plug myself. So if anybody else needs lyrics transcribed, hit me up, send me a comment, send me a message. If you have any questions about this, if there's anything that I've missed, just leave it down in the comment section below and I'll be glad to talk about it. Okay, God bless and have a great night. Okay, bye-bye.